I'm going to talk about the small gauge, the 20 gauge in particular, RFM. We've already done a video on the 12 and covered that. Obviously the 20 and the 12 have got different purposes, different uses and different target audience. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat about the specification of the guns, talk to you about what's on offer and how they can help you with your shooting, particularly moving forward in terms of the lead shot ban. And that's about it really. So, got two guns here to look at. The first one, just to recap, so RFM is an Italian manufacturer, which is linked quite closely with another Italian manufacturer that produces side-by-sides. Great value, nice shallow sort of Anson and Dealey box lock action with this sort of acanthus scroll coin finish action, so it's not overdone, it's not nickel, it's not in your face. This kind of side-by-side with the pistol grip start with the slightly wider fore ends. It's a transition from someone who naturally shoots an over and under but doesn't want to go perhaps down the really skinny English straight hand stock route, which is fine. This particular gun has got a sort of file, really nice file cut, slightly raised rib. Okay, this one is a 28-inch version, I believe. Just take that apart. Fixed choke quarter and half, so you know, good all-round chokes for a bit of everything, bit of pigeon shooting, but you might want it as maybe as a partridge gun or a driven pheasant gun, that sort of stuff. So very universal little piece of kit. Steel shot proof, CIP and fleur de lis. Going to the stock, just put it back together. So as I've explained, it is a pistol grip stock. Not, you know, ridiculously thick. There's no palm swell on it, so it's quite neutral in the grip. Nice comfortable position for your hand. Reasonably high in the comb, and what you've got at the bottom is you've got a standard sort of about 15mm rubber recoil pad. Just to finish it off. Auto safety as you expect on a game gun. The fore end is not super skinny. It's almost like a London style fore end, if you like. You might get on something like a Beretta, but obviously a more of a slim down version because it is on a side-by-side, so it hasn't got the physical size of that. Push button fore end, which is a nice little touch, just means that you've not got any metalwork sticking out the fore end looking a bit unsightly. Very nicely engraved, as I've said, the trigger guard, the back strap, the bottom plate, as we touched on with the 12-bore version. And in terms of weight, not gone super light, so I think this one's about 6'8". I've also measured a 30-inch side-plated model. Only came in at a couple ounces heavier. Just handles a bit better. If you get a lightweight 20-bore side-by-side that's, you know, you can get them that are sub £6 and there just doesn't feel like there's quite enough gun in your hand, if that makes sense. So that's the box lot version. We will just touch on the side plate as well. And we're not talking about stuff that's got 60+ drop on that was made for Charlie Chaplin 120 years ago. This is actually a usable piece of wood on the end of this stock. The only real difference with this, you know, you might prefer the box lock, it's entirely up to you. And the most important thing with these RFMs is they're super fun and super affordable. You know, if you wanted to own a side-by-side, but you thought, well, there's no real point in buying an English gun that was made 80, 90, 100 years ago because moving forward I can't shoot steel through it. And also, quite often they've been built for people that were shorter, so the stock dimensions might not be suitable. You know, you're going to end up spending quite a lot of money just to get the thing right. So buy something with a good set of standard off-the-shelf dimensions that's future-proof, that's going to last, you know, a long time, but also has really got the fun factor, especially with being a 20 gauge. Now, just a little bit about 20 gauges. When I started in the trade all those years ago, back in the 1990s, it wasn't really a popular thing. You would probably sell one to there would be a youth or a lady at some point that would buy one, but if you look at the advancement in modern cartridge for 20 gauge, nowadays it's almost the go-to for game shooters because you can do so much with it. There's so much choice of shells. You can walk around with the thing all day and it weighs next to nothing. And just to give you a bit of a comparison, we've got here a 20-bore Spanish gun. It's a U-guard to chew. We haven't got a 20-bore English gun because they're like hen's teeth. Okay, but it has got the straight hand stock. Is a lot skinnier in comparison to the pistol grip on the RFM. Here we've got the RFM with the sort of bigger, chunkier, in my eyes, more universal stock. versus a traditional 20 gauge side by side. This is a Spanish gun made by Garcia in the 70s, 80s, whenever it was. And you can see that it's so much skinnier in the hand. So even if you've got quite small hands, it won't really fit in your hand very well. Obviously, that makes it it's a different hand position when you mount the gun. The action is slightly wider, and that just makes it more user friendly for me from the point of view of maybe a simulated game day when you're shooting a lot of cartridge and you want that bit of extra weight, or particularly when you're going out and shooting game, because as we talked about, the choice of cartridges now is so vast that you can literally have a 20 gauge if you wanted to for the one gun that'll do everything. And on top of that, what we tend to find with most traditional English guns is they've got no choke in them because they've been bored out to sort of traditional improved and cylinder. Also, it isn't going to be steel shot proofed. And I think for modern day game shooting, or really for clay shooting, buy yourself something that's future proof with a warranty, and you'll have a lot of fun. And like I said, if you go back to the 70s and 80s, there was tons of these not being knocked out of Spain. Parker Hale used to buy them in, put their name on. You got Garcia, Lerona, obviously the AOA is the big one. But there's a lot of them about. But ultimately, as well, just to cover something else, double trigger, not ideal. Non-ejector, not ideal. So, you can own one of these for a lot less than the price of a new Silver Pigeon. So if you think about treating yourself to a side-by-side, give us a shout, drop us an email, send us a message, whatever, and we'll try and help you out. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.